What a delight it is to be here today. As we celebrate the 60th anniversary of our Cedi, and as we also reflect on our economic identity and on our future, I bring you all greetings from His Excellency, the President. It was in July 1965 that the Cedi replaced the Ghanaian pound, pence, and shillings. This was the result of a bold plan by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to free our economy from colonial structures. As we know, the Cedi is drawn from the cowrie shell, which for centuries served as reliable currency. Thus, Ghana sent a signal that our history did not begin with colonization, and that independence and sovereignty may be found in our ability to express value and transact in our own terms. The Cedi has since borne witness to our achievements and also our problems. Indeed, our currency is a social contract that reflects our confidence in our institutions and economy. A reliable Cedi helps businesses and industries to plan and compete effectively and attract long-term investments. To our farmers, stability means that the cost of farm inputs does not spiral out of control from one season to the next. For our public sector, a reliable Cedi means better debt management and freeing up resources for infrastructure. For our students and young people, it means fees, books, and jobs are more predictable. And of course, for our households, it means less inflation, predictable food prices, and long-term planning. Therefore, macroeconomic stability must not be treated as an abstract achievement, but must be seen as the quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, we have weathered domestic and global storms, notably the structural adjustment of the 80s, the 2008 global financial crisis, the domestic debt exchange, and some of the most recent economic crises. We have learned painful lessons from fiscal indiscipline, over-borrowing, and ignoring tried principles. But today, the Cedi has not only recovered, it has soared. You are not happy about it. According to Bloomberg, the Ghana Cedi, branded the worst performing currency in the world in 2022, became in 2025 the best performing currency globally. Inflation dropped from the high of 54.1% to 13.7%. And our gross international reserves, from what the governor has said, now exceeds $12 billion. Confidence is returning to the markets, to investors, and slowly but surely to our people. But we are also aware that the trust in the Cedi will not sustain itself. Confidence must be maintained with sound decisions, transparent actions, and accountable policies. What I mean, ladies and gentlemen, is that we must now protect what we have rebuilt through action from government, institutions, and citizens. Government must lead by example and commit to real fiscal discipline. No more reckless borrowing or surging deficits that pass today's problems to tomorrow's generations. We must anchor public finances in realistic revenue plans, efficient spending, and long-term planning. Let every loan be tied to a return and every cedi spent to a corresponding value. Furthermore, we must protect the independence of the central bank. The Bank of Ghana must remain a steward of stability. We must uphold the legal tender status of the cedi. Today, too many goods and services are still quoted in foreign currencies. But if you earn in cedis, you must be able to transact in cedis. Let me acknowledge the role of the Ministry of Finance under Dr. Cassiel Ato-Forson and the Bank of Ghana under the Governor, Dr. Johnson Esiama, and all the generals. Acknowledge all of you. Through tight monetary policy and engagement with the public, the bank has helped to anchor expectations and restore some level of credibility to our markets. We must commend their regulation of virtual asset service providers and promotion of fintech innovations and rollout of this ECD, which I'll touch on shortly. I encourage the Bank of Ghana to work more closely with businesses, banks, and innovators to make it easier to transact in cedi at home, online, and across borders. Ladies and gentlemen, restoring confidence in the cedi is also a national responsibility. We must teach each other through civic education, schools, public media campaigns, that the strength of a currency is both what it buys and what it represents. The cedi is as strong as the institutions and people who protect it. Furthermore, the Ministry of Finance must uphold fiscal responsibility. Parliament must exercise thoughtful oversight. The private sector must ground its operations in discipline. Academia should generate data and insights. The media must educate. And all this should be happen while we, the citizens, spend, save, speak with prudence. Ladies and gentlemen, finance is evolving rapidly, and that is why the Bank of Ghana is developing and testing the ECD, a digital form of our currency. Once fully scaled, the ECD will modernize our payment systems and ensure that even in a cashless future, the cedi retains its importance. That said, as we embrace financial innovation, we must equally adopt digital inclusion. The benefits of digital finance must reach all of us, especially those who are often excluded. In closing, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we mark 60 years of the cedi, let us honor the vision of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the foundational work of the early governors of the Bank of Ghana, and the quiet dedication of reformers, technocrats, and everyday Ghanaians who have kept the wheels of this economy turning over the years. As we use it in our day-to-day activities, as we buy, sell, borrow, save, and even fulfill our debts, we must remember that the cedi has also been a symbol of national identity, resilience, and aspiration over the past 60 years, and we hope for more as we go forward. May our cedi endure. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to declare the Ghana cedi at 60 celebration officially launched. May God continue to bless our homeland Ghana And thank you all for your kind attention.